All right, well, the project for tonight, this is going to be just a quick little video here. I'm working on this trailer. I picked up a used trailer a couple of weeks ago, and I've been doing a lot of work on it. I haven't filmed anything else on this because there's so many trailer videos on the internet. You don't need to see another one. But the kind of unique thing that I'm doing right here is patching the floor. So I figured maybe I'd make a quick little video and show you guys how I'm doing it, maybe give you some ideas of what to do and what not to do. So what I've got here, the problem that has happened, the floor on this thing it's in reasonably good shape. I mean, it's got a few more years left in it. I'm going to water seal it, put some Thompson's water seal on it here as soon as I get done with this patch job. But I think the floor is pretty usable yet, but the previous owner had some kind of weird deal going on where he said he broke a board. This board here, I've cut it off nice and flush there, but it was come out to about here and it was snapped off and it was missing. And then this board here, this board was a complete board, but it had a big half circle cut out of it, like somebody took a jigsaw and just cut a big hole. I don't know if he said he had Bobcat on here one day. Something happened. I don't know if he damn near wrecked or what, but he said the Bobcat shifted and it pulled the D-ring out and broke the plank. So I don't know if he had a D-ring just fastened to one of the planks or what. I don't know what the hell caused it, but it broke this board. This board was missing and this one had a big cut in it. So I don't know what the deal was with the last guy that had this trailer was doing. But anyhow, what I'm doing is just fixing these. And I picked up some brand new 2x8s is what all the rest of this stuff is. So I picked up some 2x8 treated, and the kind of issue was, what do I do? I don't want to replace the 18-foot board if I can help it, when I only need basically 8 feet of it. And what I was thinking about doing was, you can see the cross member down in there. They're like, I don't know, that might be 1.25 inches wide. I thought, well, I'd cut that board right, centered up on that cross member, and this board would be on half the cross member and the new board would be on the other half the cross member. But I just wasn't comfortable with, you might park a tractor tire on, right here. Maybe I'll park a tractor tire right here. That's a lot of weight and it could cause that board to flex a little bit, and I don't want it to be just sitting on a 1/2 inch or 3/4 down there. So I figured I'd let this board have the whole cross member, and then I scabbed on a piece of angle iron. This is a C channel or U channel, whatever you want to call it. This cross member runs all the way across the trailer. I scabbed on a piece of angle iron there, so it kind of boxed in that C channel, and you can see the penetration there from the weld on the back side. I also got a little tack here and a little tack over here. I put those tacks on when I just first set it up there, and then I laid a small bead here and a small bead here. So now I've got this board owns this cross member, and the new board then is going to sit on this scab here, and that is, I feel very confident that that's going to hold all the weight that I want it to. And so I did that for that one, and then down here, like I say, this board just had a big gouged cut in it. So again, same thing. I cut this one off using a circular saw, and then up under here, it wasn't pretty, but I took a Sawzall and just worked it back in there to get that board to cut, because that board, this board sits back in here a good ways. But anyhow, I did the same thing here. Left this board have the cross member, and then I welded on. You can see my piece of angle iron down there, a couple of beads on top and a bead underneath, and a couple of tacks. So just scabbed on a couple of pieces of angle iron. So and you can see what I'm using for fasteners. I was going to use carriage bolts. I just hate using carriage bolts. It seems like inevitably I put a carriage bolt in and I need to take it back out for one reason or another. So then the head's always spinning. You got to grind the whole head off. That's a big head to grind off too when you need to gouge in and cut a carriage bolt out. It's a pain in the butt. So I went out and went up to my local hardware store. These things are expensive, but these are the kind of self-tappers that they use when they make these trailers. And for ease of installation and the fact that I only needed just a handful to fix these, I paid 75 cents a piece for these at my local Do It Best store. I would hope that you could find these a whole lot cheaper online if you were doing a big project, but I'll tell you, I helped a guy just recently redeck his. He's got a big gooseneck, tandem dual gooseneck. I think it's 20 foot flat and then 5 foot dove. It was a big gooseneck trailer, and he redid the whole deck, and we did carriage bolts on the whole thing because it was originally these self tappers. And man, I'm telling you, that carriage bolts drilling all them holes in them cross members. One is a giant pain in the ass. I mean, drilling all them holes, you burning up bits. I mean, the drills, it's hard on the drills to do that much, you know, with the cordless drills and stuff that we were using. But anyhow, you know, just the fact that it's pain in the butt to do, and hell, we were setting, I think, 3/8 inch carriage bolts. So you figure for every cross member, we're drilling a 3/8 hole every 5-6 inches across that cross member. You know, 3/8 inch holes. Hell, them cross members were Swiss cheese by the time we got done putting all them carriage bolts in. So these things are a lot smaller diameter. I'm gonna guess this is a 2.5 inch. I think that's what, or maybe it said 3 on the label. But I was most concerned about the depth of the threads. The threads doesn't come all the way down to the end, anyhow, the diameter on these is much smaller than you know, than your typical even 1/4 inch carriage bolts. I guess you could use quarters, but you're still drilling a bunch of 1/4 inch holes all through your cross members, where these are a little bit smaller and they bite directly into what they've just cut. So I don't know, I feel like maybe they're not as I don't know what the word is. I feel like maybe these things don't weaken the metal as much as just drilling a hole and dropping a bolt through it, where these are, you know, biting into the metal. I'm hoping that maybe that makes the metal a little stronger, but I realize that these things don't last forever. But again, with my situation, that deck ain't gonna last forever. So, you know, that deck's gonna have to be redone in a couple of years. So if these only hold up for a couple of years, hey, I'm in good shape, you know. Then I'll be kind of back to square one, and I don't know if I'll use these for a whole new deck or not. But anyhow, guys, I get kind of long-winded, but that's what I'm doing here. You know, hopefully this gives you some ideas of what to do if you've broken a board on your trailer. You know, if this was a rotten deck and that board had rotted in half, I'd be redoing the whole deck. But because the deck itself is in pretty good shape, you know, this kind of a unique situation where I'm just patching holes in the deck. So make sure you know, I've got to replace that one and this one. I made sure I did this one first, you know, because it slides up under on both ends, you know, the end and the side. So if I'd have put that board in first, I'd never be able to get this one in. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. Put this one in first, and then that one I'll stab in there and then drop down on that end. So anyhow, guys, I hope this helps you. If it did, click that thumbs up button, and if you want to see more videos like this, me working on stuff, you never know what I'm going to be working on. That's picked up at Surge Milker at Portland, Indiana, at the Tri-State Tri-State Engine Show. Yeah, if you guys are into hit and miss engines and stuff, I don't need to tell you about Portland, but picked up that Surge Milker up there. So I think I'm gonna be tinkering with that next. So, you know, click that subscribe button. Maybe you'll get to see me working on that. Or got a Hobart Federal Engineering Model 200 on the bench again. You guys that are into that meat processing stuff, that's coming up too. So click that subscribe button, you'll get to see that. Until the next video, guys, keep on tinkering.